Y'all want to talk about sleaze bag? Hold on. We're going to talk about some sleaze bags. Let me tell you something. I tried to avoid this. But we're just gonna have to put it out there, man. I just can't. I have to explain some things. Hold on. So this is my video page to my channel. All the videos, 1.1 thousand videos. I typed in Kenny Wallace's name here, and it looks like out of my 1.1 thousand videos, Kenny Wallace's name is titled 5 times, or involved in the title 5 times. Let's see what these were. I don't even know. Civil disagreement on the pro level of NASCAR. I think he was talking about being the NFL, and I was disagreeing for sure. De-bullshitting this. This video in particular was about when Kenny Wallace was saying NASCAR is the only place you can make money racing, and I was de-bullshitting that. This video basically spurred about a month's worth of content for Kenny Wallace, by the way. If you remember, there was that point last year where dirt racers came on to Kenny Wallace to talk about how much money dirt racers are making. That's how this whole conversation last year kind of started. When he made that statement, I made this response video that did very well on its own because I was talking about the truth, and then it spurred off to like 4 or 5 videos for him. And then, what is this? One guy left. What's this? Kenny Wallace on... That was F1. This is just Tarleton Macedo. This was sometime last year. And then, of course, here recently in one of our lives, these are the only ones titled that were using his name at all. Any other time he got brought up, similar to this video right now, he's being brought up, but it's not advertised. It's not titled that way. There are some videos like that. I think the other time he came up because... they released a clip about 2 or 3 weeks ago, Kenny Wallace and Michael Rigsby, and it was talking about money over talent in the in NASCAR, and they were talking about NFL and all the stuff that I've been talking about all this time. And Michael Rigsby referenced me in that video about talking about dirt racers getting just as much as respect, because that's why I get so apparently mean and mad and upset, is because the only time our racers get paid respect nationally, only time our racers get recognition that they deserve, they don't get it. They only get paid respects when they pass away or get killed in a race car. Then the world notices them. Then the world pays them their respect. They don't pay them their respect on a weekly basis. No, they don't even exist unless you go out there and take your last corner. So that may inhibit me sometimes to get very, very, very upset when I see players that are just as good as your boys over there that get shoved down the American public as so much better and great than everyone else that's out there. And then our boys out here have to get killed in these dirt cars that amateurs race in, I guess. And so when those type of notions are pushed to the public, I get very upset about them. You know, so regardless, in that money over talent video, Kenny Wallace referenced a point that he thinks dirt fans, and he said this multiple times in different varianted ways, he thinks that dirt fans tuned out from NASCAR racing when they started raising ticket prices and doing 3-day ticket packages and outpriced the dirt fan. Regardless, that video, that full video of him and Michael Rigsby, it's blacked out right now. I don't want him to get too excited. Full interview came out, and after that sub clip that they released several weeks ago, or a week or so ago, that was, this was released a day ago. The full interview comes out, and after that, Kenny goes on to say, kind of really smear campaign on the Chaz, basically. Says that I'm mean, which I just explained to you why I could get very upset and frustrated, and why I'm talking about. Says that I told him privately that I have to go after him and get mad at him for views. That's what he said. And then he also said that a guy named Kyle Steffens sat me down and tried to tell me how it works and how he helps Kyle, and you just got to kind of be nice, I guess is kind of what he was saying, and just don't get so riled up, or put this out, or point this out, or all the stuff that I kind of talk about here when you try to work with these big entities. They want you to trade that mouth for that money. They want you to trade that mouth for that money all day long. We see this on the national broadcasted syndicates all the time. We see it for sure in a lot of situations of today. So basically, after he said this, I came down here and commented. I'm trying to be very respectful here. I came down here and said the facts. Said my channel has 1.1K videos made. Your name is listed in 5 of them. We just showed you facts, ladies and gentlemen. All of them responding to your comments on a topic that I view can be detrimental to the sport of dirt track racing. Telling the truth can come with a level of disrespect. This is normal in the normal world. Not in racing, because it's anything but a meritocracy, which is what they were talking about. We live in a weird, racing world is like a weird monarchy. I was going to say dictatorship, but monarchy. You know, it's like families and generations and lords and shit. It's crazy. And then it's all sponsorship money, which big corporations and sponsors are mostly ran or owned at the very, very top level by a lineage of families. Like Ferrari is a family, you know, Macy's is a family. I mean, we could talk about all the families and all that stuff, but that's a whole nother conversation. But regardless, I said telling the truth comes with a certain level of disrespect sometimes. Sometimes it happens, especially when I feel disrespected, that the world doesn't even pay respects to our drivers unless they pass away. Happens all the time. I said, and especially, you know, I'm going to be a little respectful when I think that your comments are detrimental to the sport of dirt track racing. And I put in parentheses here, similar to the money over talent clip, which I just explained to y'all, in which you referenced dirt fans being upset at NASCAR because it started to charge too much to get in. 3-day weekends. He said this many of times. And this is funny right here. This is a good point I thought about while I was writing this out. I said, it is funny, or I put funny. NASCAR is on TV for free. Basically, we can go anywhere and watch it. And dirt fans tune out of it and would rather pay $150 to Flow and $350 to Dirt Vision to watch dirt instead. Basically, money isn't the issue, it's the product. Additionally, I do not care to sell my mouth shut, and I'm very proud of that. Told them before and will tell them again. Take your money, pit passes, gas money, hotel, and narrative and shove it up your People being paid off and or supplemented to turn a blind eye to things is the root of all of our problems in modern society. It isn't money that's the problem. It's the choices being made by the influences of it. To add, I hope you never critique those in politics who have sold our country out by doing similar things that you are advocating for. It's very interesting. Hypocrisy runs the world. In politics, it's just simply for more money and gigantic corporations flipping the bill in exchange for ignoration. I put in parentheses to make the point, since he called me mean, be nice and eat out of my hand, or be on trackside. In closing, Kyle Steffens never set me down and had a talk. Maybe he thought he did, but obviously it went one ear and out the other. And I never said I talk bad about you to boost my numbers. If that was the case, I would have done it more than 0.5% of my content, which is the percentage of 5 to 1.1K. Geez, and you mentioned the word respect. It's so funny. And just for additional references, let me make sure that none of this is actually shown publicly. I like Kenny Wallace. At one point, I wanted to work with him. I have reference to him through text message. We've had conversations, and I didn't know it was to this degree. We've had conversations, or I've proposed ideas of doing some kind of ESPN First Take videos with Kenny Wallace and having debates on different topics, because I think he's a good speaker and doesn't mind voicing his opinion on a camera, which a lot of people are very scared to do. I think he wasn't necessarily under the umbrella as much as he is now, so maybe that tune has changed on the possibilities of that being, obtainable. But I guess that, how does that equate to I have to talk bad about you to anybody who watches my video sees the authenticity in what I'm saying. When I get mad, or get, as smart people say, passionate, not mean, about these topics, you can't really fake that shit. Okay? Can't fake passion. You can fake being nice, though. A lot of people do it. So anyway, I went back to this guy who sat me down and told me what to do, Kyle Steffens. And the last time I had talked to Kyle Steffens was December in 2023 when he was being apparently death-threatened by other race car fans at the Dome. Cared about him then. Still do. I don't know if Kyle and I think maybe Kenny was just talking. We talked back and forth about the Dome and this and all this stuff. And prior to that, it wasn't until March of 2023 was the last time I talked. I think July 4th, 2023 was my last text saying happy 4th of July to Kyle Steffens. 2022, I was talking about potentially running a modified at the Gateway Dome with Kyle Steffens. And the only references I could see here to Kenny Wallace was when we exchanged numbers, when he asked Kenny if we could talk. This was in, when was this? I can't even find a date. April of 2022. And let's see here. I was even being extremely nice. Look at this. Since I want to go after him so bad, that's been my hidden motive this entire time. Look at this message that I sent. Heck, if he needs help around his shop or something like that, I'm down to do that. Just would like to work with him, then against him. This is about Kenny Wallace. This is, if there's some hidden motive here to do something for stupid ratings, why would I be saying in private conversation that if he needs help around the shop or something, because I believe they were low on stuff, somebody told me that he does it all himself. You know, I'd like for us to have a few hours of availability to talk prior to videoing anything, just so we could talk, and that way he doesn't feel bombarded or attacked. Look how sympathetic I was being in his messages. Although these messages of fact, not these random things just flowing out of his mouth on his channel. These facts here that are on pieces of paper, on text messages. You can't falsify this evidence here. This is evidence. This is evidence. You can't falsify these. You could talk like I have a motive. You could try to smear campaign me. But the evidence supports otherwise. Never had any motives to go after Kenny or be mean to Kenny at all. But when all of my stuff, back to reaction, I'm reacting to him. When he goes out there and says something that I believe is detrimental to the respect of our sport, I'm going to get a little disrespectful, a little mad, a little upset about it. And in the professional world, the debate world, that's normal. That's a normal way to interact with somebody you disagree with. You have your view, I have mine. Let's talk about it. Let's put it on camera together. That was my idea. And obviously it was, at least previously for sure, I didn't want him to feel bombarded or attacked, and I would like to work with him, then against. But my motive is to apparently go after him because I need to boost views, even though I only did that, I guess, with his name for 5 of those videos. You know, I want to introduce a word to the dirt track racing world. You know, I talk about manipulations and, you know, why does our sport get pushed down? Why is this happening? Who's in control? Why does this mainstream not pay any respect? Why not? You know, I want y'all to be introduced to what a gatekeeper is, all right? This is why I won't ever take their fucking money. Let me show y'all what a gatekeeper is. The gatekeeping theory. This theory focuses on how information is filtered before it reaches the public. Gatekeepers, such as editors, news directors, or other decision makers, determine which stories are presented and how they are conveyed. They play a crucial role in shaping what the public knows about. I think dirt racing falls in that category. And who's somebody so much better than everyone else? The process occurs across various media channels, including newspapers, radio, television, websites, and podcasts. And I think we can formally introduce YouTube to that list, and TikTok and all these social constructs and everything like that. So gatekeeping is a very nice way to say, I have information. I know this is true. I know this is fact, but maybe somebody sponsored this. Maybe somebody gave me money here. Somebody like, I know that guy, so I don't want to get him in trouble. I don't want to be mean. So I'm not going to say that. You know, I'm sure the person who whistleblowed the Epstein situation, they were definitely mean to him, weren't they? That was mean to say that. Why would you expose such an island? Why? So mean. So mean. Just saying that's an extreme example, obviously. But is it good? Everybody has nice and mean is obviously a part of the perspective. I sit here and say the stuff I do about I call myself pro dirt. I say those things, and those are viewed as great. Finally, somebody said it to those who are not being voiced for. And then to those who it's against, oh, I'm sure I'm mean. I'm an asshole. Similar to the Kyle Busch situation. There's kids over here crying, why ain't I getting a provisional? And why is he? And then I come out there and say on Facebook to all these people, 80,000 people in 15 minutes, look what's going on here. This is bullshit. This kid is this one kid's getting privileged over all of them. This isn't right, guys. If you're a fan of the monarchy nepotism of that situation of getting a provisional, I mean, if you're a fan or feel guilt or feel bad, or back to the title of that video, I'm just saying, if you feel bad, if you feel worried for that ill righteousness, that zero a meritocracy based situation, I'm doing something right. I'm doing something, it's called brave, to stand up to that shit in that building. That's why I got kicked out. I wasn't scared. But one side sees me as mean, and why would you say that about a kid? And provisionals are given out all the time. I'm mean. That perspective, I'm mean. Standing up for the little kids, those parents, those people, they don't see it that way. I'm not being mean to them. But we get to identify who's on which side of the fence very easily when they get to talking. That's why we got names for them. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is with that. It's pretty interesting. He said, get Kenny on the show and discuss. There's no discussing with Kenny. Obviously, and honestly, and this would be my bigger takeaway from all that. Any respect, and this is the truth. Any respect or credibility I personally had for Kenny Wallace is gone. Once because once he started saying that, he knew it was all false. He knew it was all a lie. Have I talked to him about doing a debate show where I have my viewpoint and he has his, because obviously they naturally are separated, and we put that on camera and all that stuff? That's true. But I never sat there and said I have to go after him to make people mad at me to get views. And Kyle Stephens never set me down. So once he started lying about me, all respect, for me personally, all respect, all credibility to what he has to say is just done for me. Kenny Wallace's thoughts, opinions are nothing but gatekeeping, as far as my opinion. Because if he'll lie to me or lie about me to that degree, I mean, he'll do that to anybody. And I don't, some people don't mind having bad people as friends or associates, but I try to have good people as friends. And I can't really be a friend with somebody I don't trust. You know, there's some situations here recently that, you know, I had to discover this person. I can't trust them. Oh, they did that to that person. I don't really want to be their friend. So I really can't. I don't want to do a talk at this point. I don't want to do a debate show with Kenny Wallace. I don't want a discussion with Kenny Wallace. I don't want to talk to, in my opinion, a liar. I'm good. Because I'm choosing authenticity over fakeness, and I won't eat off of the food plate of the big dogs who run everything and want you to talk and bark like they want you. And at least Michael Rigsby was respectful. You notice how when that started happening, when he started going after me, Rigsby kind of pumped the brakes on saying much. He responded at the one point about saying, yeah, Chaz saw me as the flow guy and then researched and all that, Van, and respect. That's very true. What Rigsby said was true. Michael Rigsby did no wrong. But what Kenny Wallace did was wrong. And I think that, not living in the car technically, but up and down the streets in the car, I'm not in hotels all the time. I'm not living the fancy life. I'm just saying I rough it because I protect my authenticity, and that's the reason I have to rough it, because of the stuff I won't do for their obligement. But at the end of the day, Rigsby's comments were fine. Rigsby's explanations didn't carry a bunch of bullshit with it. This is how we ride. This is how